I gotta get home.
That's really not.
I know.
That's not like a personal problem.
It's just the everything's gone.
Well, we'll just see if we can make it a little better for you.
So, Sigma stock.
Hey, ready? Yes. Go. Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It is 7:03 p.m. This is the Genoa Township Board of Zoning Appeals. We're located at the Genoa Township Hall, 5111 South Old 3C Highway, Westerville, Ohio 43082. We have 4 cases on the agenda tonight. And we have staff present, Paul Benson and Joe Schaefer back in the back. And I will call the roll. Ms. Yu.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Here.
Mr. Wilcoxon is not here. Mr. Campanella.
Present.
Ms. Guest, who is in the back, and Mr. Holland.
Yes.
Okay. I'll read this statement into the record. As is the adopted policy of the Board of Zoning Appeals, all applicants will be granted an opportunity to make their formal presentation. The audience will then, oh, thank you. Well, it's been a while. I'm sorry, Paul. I have to be retrained. The audience will then be granted an opportunity to comment, followed by questions from the board. This policy was adopted by the Board of Zoning Appeals to provide for the orderly discussion of business scheduled for consideration. The chairperson may limit repetitive debate. The first thing on the agenda is the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was October 28th, 2025. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to take a look at those. They were in your email today, I believe. And I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Phillips.
Second.
Second by Mr. Campanella. Discussion, anything? All in favor of approval of the minutes from October 28th, 2025, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, before we open our first case tonight, I did want to mention, I didn't want it to go by without mentioning that one of our prior board members recently passed away around the 1st of January. Both Teresa and I served with her not only on this board, but also the Parks Board. And Mark has served with her for a number of years also. And I wanted to mention it. Dorothy Driscoll was an important member of the community. She was president of her homeowners association. Personally, a friend of mine. We went to dinner very, very often. And as I said, she was very important to me, as she was to the township and this board. And I just wanted to mention her. And with that, I guess we'll start with the first case. Okay, I'll read the legal notice into the record. Everyone here that wishes to speak on this matter, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in. Yes, everybody gets to. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Be seated. Okay. The application is, Carapacha, am I close? Okay, Farms LLC, via Ralph Fallon Builder, is requesting approval of a variance to exceed the maximum height of a principal building at parcel number 317-1100-102-9000, which is vacant land, currently zoned rural residential, RR, and this is BZA case 2026-01. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on January 14th, 2026 in the Delaware Gazette and posted at the Genoa Township Hall on January 7th, 2026. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. The following following exhibits are entered into evidence as well. Exhibits A through D, which includes the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report. Mr. Benson, if you would like to present the staff report.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to be relatively brief so we can move on with this meeting since we have so many hearings. This property was purchased by the current property owners in March of 2022. The property that they are requesting the variance on is 110 acres, so it's a very large property up north on Sunbury Road. The building height limit currently is 35 feet, and that's measured from the grade to the top of the building. The Board of Trustees are currently discussing a zoning resolution amendment, and in that amendment, one of the things they're talking about possibly doing is changing the way we define that back to how we used to define it, which would be the average elevation between from the grade to the lowest eave to the top eave of the roof. This house may not have needed a variance request if that was currently the way we measured building height, but the way that we measure it currently, it does require a variance to be at the height that they are requesting. The application states that they're requesting relief from section 160901D. This is the section that does the building height for accessory buildings. So the correct section number is 60609. The applicant can state that they're okay with changing that on the record when they speak.
And so it's actually for the principal residence?
Yes, correct.
Not an accessory?
Correct.
Okay.
The application states that the home will not be visible from the neighboring properties due to the size of the lot. And there's also very high mounding along the roadway, so you can't really see the lot from the road. Staff is in general agreement that it would be very difficult to see the house on the lot. Also taking into account the fact that the same property owner owns the 99-acre lot to the north, the 120-acre and 74-acre lots to the south, and a 96-acre lot to the east, which is actually in Harlem Township. We did send copies of the application to Police, Fire, and Maintenance. Fire Marshal Cato was the only one that responded, and he stated he had no concerns. And we have not received any comments from the public as of the time of this hearing. Back to you if you have any questions.
Okay, I do not at this time. So anyone else? No?
No.
Okay. Let's hear from the applicant.
I don't really know what to add. That pretty much sums it up. It's a large lot, and we're not in the center of those 4 north to south lots, but we're center adjacent, the home site.
The property, I live in Sage Creek, just adjacent to the property. So I'm aware of the holdings of the organization, and I'm aware pretty much of where the house is going to go. So I feel like I have the information that I need personally.
We're about 1,500 feet from Sunbury Road.
1,500. Shall I do Duncan?
I'm sorry.
Would you like me to do Duncan?
I have a question.
Not yet, but hold that thought.
I do have a question. On the one exhibit you provided to us that shows the 5 lots, can you tell me approximately where the house will go on those 5 lots? Pardon?
Yeah, that was my question.
Okay, I'm sorry, I stole the question.
Going from the north to south, there's the lot that's closest to Sage Creek, the farthest north, through south of that to the next lot, and on the south end of that lot. So it's basically at the bottom of the second lot south.
1,500 feet off the road.
Feet off the road, which is Sunbury Road.
Joe, can you put up the plot map, please? Just for a little clarity is all. Maybe zoom out just a bit more. See, I'm lucky enough, I can't see the things that we'll have to see.
There, yeah. Am I correct that it's going to be in this general area?
It's gonna be to the left of that. It's more in this, yes, over there, right there.
Like right in here?
Yeah, exactly.
In the middle of the lot, or did you say towards?
It's a little closer to Sunbury Road than to the west side.
Okay, but it's in the middle of this
Right.
second lot?
Yeah, yeah.
And are these going to be built on as well or no?
The north lot has an existing residence, 3139.
Okay.
And a barn associated with it. That's gonna stay for now.
Okay.
And then the new home and its accessory buildings, and that's all as far as buildings go for right now. We're starting to encroach on that third lot down.
This one?
Yeah, with different landscaping and plantings and stuff like that.
So basically, the owner is going to just going to build a large house and that's it?
Correct.
Okay.
Done a really nice job of building that berm. It looks almost completely untouched.
Yeah.
And that's kind of was my hope, because I live and go by there every day, and it's still really attractive as a result.
Turned out nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, you good?
I'm good, yes.
Shelley?
Hold that thought. Any members of the public wish to speak regarding this application? Okay, hearing none, I guess we can, why don't you go ahead and go through Duncan versus Middlefield, and then
Yeah.
we can do any discussion that we need to do from there? Okay.
Okay, Duncan v. Middlefield provides us with a foundation to evaluate these variances in a way that's consistent with current state law and precedent. One of the first ones is whether the property in question would or would not yield a reasonable return, and therefore could or could not be beneficial to have use of the property without the variance. I believe that the property would yields a reasonable return, and there could be beneficial use of the property without the variance. However, the current request is more in line with what the owners are looking to do. Therefore, we are considering it. Whether the variance is or is not substantial, my view is that a 8% variance does not fit within our currently accepted view of what is substantial. So I would say the variance is not substantial. The essential character of the neighborhood would or would not be substantially altered, and the adjoining properties would or would not suffer a detriment as a result of the variance. I'm going to say the answer to that is no, given the placement of this building on a very large lot, and the home would not be visible from anywhere except for the air. The variance would or would not adversely affect the delivery of government services. I would say no, based on the assessment that we got from the team. The property owner did or did not purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. I would assume they did, given the fact that that's public information, and they seem to be pretty astute folks. However, the design ultimately resulted in something that they wanted to appeal. The property owner's predicament can or cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance. While they could build a smaller home with a different height, but the amount that they're requesting here certainly is small enough to bring to the board for us to consider, especially given the broader privacy and other constraints that we're dealing with here. And finally, the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would or would not be observed, and substantial justice would or would not be done by granting the variance. My view is that substantial justice would be done, given the size of the holdings, the location of the home, the fact that very few others or nobody would be impacted by this decision, and the substantial investment that this owner has made in our community. And that's Middlefield.
Okay. I do have a question. How large is the home to be constructed?
Right now, it's floating around 13,000 square feet.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, it's a little,
Okay.
They didn't want to challenge Wexner for the number one, huh? What is it, 50-something thousand square feet, this place in New
I'm
Albany?
not sure.
It's,
Large.
Okay, any other questions for staff or the applicant? Anyone?
Mark, I think it's worth
ahead.
noting also, just as we vote, that staff has pointed out that the township is considering a resolution that would make this, it would be compliant if the resolution is passed. And in that situation, I think it makes it less adverse for us in our consideration to vote against it.
I agree, but we've been down that road before. A year or so ago, we had the same, well, the zoning code's gonna be changed, this would be compliant if it was, and now here we are a year plus later, it still hasn't been changed.
Right.
And I guess I just say that as a cautionary statement, that's it. It's.
No, point well taken. I just raise it since.
Sure.
To be considered with all of the other factors.
And
or
we've
that
had-
independent factor, yeah.
We've had 3 or 4 of these lately, where we haven't had any in the last 5 years. So, and I think it probably is related to the way it's measured. So, okay. That would be my opinion. Okay. Any other discussion? Anybody want to make a motion for approval?
You want to go ahead, Mark? I mean, you've already taken the lead on it.
You're already in the driver's seat, you might as well finish it up.
Well, the last time I did this, the last time I did this,
The last time you did it, it was a good learning experience.
okay, I make a motion to approve, assuming that we incorporate all of the exhibits, A and B, and the stuff that we put on the back there, with findings pertaining to the review of section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence, and to approve the requested variance from section 606.09 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution for BZA 2026-01 application received December 15th, 2025, to allow for a principal building to have a maximum height of, we said this is 35 feet? 38 feet, right? On the property known as
Is 38 enough?
Should be,
Okay. Is it?
sure.
I'm not gonna get my ruler out there, but, don't come back and say, well, we needed another foot.
that 38 feet on the property known as 3303 Sunbury Road, Galena, Ohio 43021, parcel identification number 31711001029,000, zoned rural residential. This motion is based on the following findings of fact. Pursuant to section 307.04 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, that such variance or modification will not be contrary to the public interest, because honestly, the way this is positioned, the amount of privacy we're looking at, the lack of neighbors, the relative size of the variance being requested would make this be such that it is not contrary to the public interest. That owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the zoning resolution resulted in unnecessary hardship, because such a small request on a fairly large substantial property that is out of view would be unnecessarily, at least in my view. And that the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution, and substantial justice shall be done thereby because of the items that we have recently talked about. And approval of the subject variance is subject to the owner's agreement to following conditions. I don't think we had any conditions, correct? There's no additional permits or whatever, and that is the motion to approve.
Okay. Oh, it's your motion. You don't want to have any conditions or not.
No,
Okay.
no conditions.
It's your motion. Go ahead.
I have a question, just to make the record clear, do we need to have the applicant acknowledge that it's being amended? The section under which
Oh,
they're
right.
making application is amended, is that important?
I
for
think
the
they haven't
record?
raised any concerns to my staff memo that I sent. They haven't raised any concerns this evening, but you can ask him if he's okay with the with changing the section number to
I assume,
609.
Fine, that's my fault. It's the wrong one.
so you're okay to make the amendment?
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Okey dokey. Oop.
Second the motion?
Oh, thanks. I forgot that, didn't we? I see. All right. Further discussion? We call the roll. Mr. Campanella,
Yes.
Mr. Holleran,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Ms. Yu,
Yes.
chair votes yes. Application approved. Thank you very much.
Please tell the owners to say thanks for the great investment in our community.
Oh, and hearing is concluded at 7:25. Okay. All right, I will open the next hearing at 7:25 PM and read the legal notice into the record after we have those that are appearing on this case sworn in. So this is case number 2026-02. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Be seated. All right. Okay. Ella Cantucci Hughes, did I get close? Okay, yeah, it tells me all I need to know. Requesting approval of an area variance to construct an addition that encroaches into the rear setback at 5836 Ridgewood Avenue, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, which is currently zoned Planned Residential District, PRD. This is BZA case 2026-02. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on January 14th, 2026 in the Delaware Gazette, posted in the Genoa Township Hall on January 7th, 2026. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. And we have entered into evidence exhibits A through D, which includes the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report dated January 27th. And we will start with Mr. Benson with the staff report.
Thank you, Mark. This lot was created when Highland Lakes North was platted in February of 1995. The permit for the original residence was approved October 31st, 1996. On October 1st of last year, Trevor Ellis from Roman L. Hughes contacted staff and stated that the property owner was hoping to make some changes to the rear of the lot and just had some questions about how they would go forward with that. Staff did some research on the lot and found that Highland Lakes North has a 30-foot rear setback, and the house currently sits 28 and about 3/4 feet from the rear lot line. While doing our research, we did find on the permit from October 31st, 1996, the zoning inspector at the time approved that permit at 28.75 feet. We did not locate any variances to allow them to encroach into the rear setback, but it was approved. There's nothing that we can do to change that. We can't enforce any violations for something that was approved by a previous zoning inspector. Also, while doing research, we did find that there is a covered and semi-enclosed deck. It's like a screen deck on the back of the property and also a patio on the back of the property. Those were built around 2002. We were not able to find a zoning permit on file for those. We discussed it as staff, and we determined that we would not try to enforce the zoning violation as nobody had complained about them, and they've been there for 20-plus years, and there hasn't been an issue with them before. So unless we heard an active complaint from somebody about them, we weren't going to enforce the violations on that. But we did explain to them that if they did want to modify anything else in the rear of the lot, a variance would be required, as it is already all encroaching into the rear setback. The application stated that the sunroom is actually going to be smaller than what the existed covered deck would be. So possibly the encroachment would be less than what it currently is. And the applicant purchased the property in 2014. Again, that's about 12 years after the existing encroaching patio and covered deck were built. So they bought the property with an already existing violation. They were not the ones that built the violation or the potential violation. And copies of the application were sent to police, fire, and maintenance. And again, Fire Marshal Cato was the one that responded. He did not have any concerns. And we have not received any inquiries about the variance request from any of the neighbors that were contacted. We do know that the letters were received because we had a neighbor that came in for another meeting with Mr. Schaefer and just happened to mention that she had received the letter. And I believe she did say during that time that she didn't have any issues with it. And that is all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
No.
Paul, I have a question. The rear setback line is 30 feet, yes?
Correct.
And the house is currently located 28.67 feet?
28, yes, correct.
That includes the sunroom?
No, that's just the principal building itself. That does not include the patio and the covered and screened deck that's on the back. That is not included with the 28. Just the flat end of the back of the house is at 28.67 feet.
Okay.
The deck and the patio encroach even further into that.
And that's a 15, they're requesting a 15-foot
Yes, correct. They're requesting a 15-foot, yes,
variance?
correct.
Okay.
What is the extent of the current violation that you're not setting them for?
We don't have that because we don't have an actual survey or anything on file for that. That'd be a question for the applicant. They would probably speak on that better than I can.
The new one is a reduction from where it is today.
Again, I would ask them. That was something they stated. They can probably speak on that
All right.
also.
You're too.
All right, I gotta be here all night anyway.
You just gotta zoom down.
Can you move it?
Scroll down. You'll be able to hit
Look
the
at
X.
the other building.
Oh, there you go. You never know, I used to do this. Yeah, they really did build it right there, didn't they? Is it it's because of the front setback. Because if you look at the fronts, they're all conforming in the backs.
House is bigger, that's why.
If I could go back to 1997, I'd have hair too, but I'll bet you that's what it is. And this is here, you know what, let's go to the applicant. And then we'll come back. All right, let's hear from the applicant.
Okay,
You're the builder? You're the builder?
No, I'm
No, you're Mr.
just the
Hughes.
designer for her,
Oh, you're the designer?
Yes.
Okay, and your name, sir?
Steve Jones.
Okay, Steve. Go ahead.
Elliot called up to see about converting this, and it's not a screened deck, it's actually full enclosed windows in that. Inside of it looks like a furnished,
So currently, it's
Yeah.
windowed, and so basically what you want to do is you want to replace what's there and update it.
yes.
Okay.
As I said, it is built on a deck, and the deck's over 20 years old, the structure underneath, so beginning to see signs of deterioration down there. At a point, that would become an issue. So the desire was to take that down, rebuild, initially the same size, with crawl space, conditioned space open to the house. When we looked into this and found out that it not only encroached into the rear yard, it encroached into the 15-foot easement. That's basically when I informed her we needed to shorten it up. We should not be into an easement at all. And so we're looking to take it down, rebuild nearly the same size, keeping out of the easement. Just as a clean addition to the
It's
home.
going to be heated and air conditioned
Yes.
like the rest of the house?
Yeah, it'll be opened up to the house. It will be a new room.
Okay.
Are you going to be covering the entire footprint as it exists today, or will it be smaller?
Smaller in depth so that we don't go into the easement.
So that would mean that the current setback is something more than 15 feet.
Right now, the deck extends about 15 feet past the home, which puts it about 16 inches into the easement. So we would be shortening it up that much to keep it out of the easement. Basically the same width.
And from the overhead that I saw, it looks like there's a substantial tree line behind your house. Is that still there?
There's a pine tree in the corner.
Behind the house?
Mhm.
And that's going to stay, correct?
That'll stay.
Yeah, so that would help with any screening if anyone had any issues.
It's, the pine tree's literally in the corner,
Yeah,
of all those
It's
four
very
lots that
huge.
bump.
pine tree, yes.
Okay. Anybody else for the applicant?
Joe, could you move that up? I'd like to see the lot that's, I think would that be south of there?
Oh, yeah.
So the current structure, it's roofed. It's roofed, there's a skylight in it, and it's attached to the house. And that's the way I bought it. Yes, that's
Yeah,
the way I
sure.
purchased it. Mhm.
I was curious
What
about,
you're asking,
yeah, I was asking
There's
just,
The-
between here and here.
Yeah, he's talking about the people behind
So
you.
is it
Like
more
I
like
said,
a
I-
Florida room?
I think that exactly
Yeah.
what.
Okay.
they're saying,
Yeah,
that the
I just
easement requirement
would like
is
to
fine.
improve
I'm
it.
trying to visualize it.
Improve the
They
space.
just
It's,
built whatever they built, and Highland Lakes
Mhm.
North, yeah, I've seen that a couple of times there.
mhm.
do you know that neighbor that
Mhm.
lives directly behind?
Well, we're not best friends, but yes, I do know him. Our dogs love each other. But yes, I mean, we wave, and he feeds the birds every day.
Okay.
And
But-
then,
but-
is this a tree, I'm sorry, is this a
That-
tree line here, just one tree and then?
One tree, there's no trees in between. Like to the neighbor to the right, they just planted all those pine trees.
Fence?
I
No?
do, that is a big tree in my yard, excuse me, in the middle.
Oh, this one.
That tree
Yeah.
does exist, and
Yeah.
it's gonna stay.
Okay.
It is against the patio.
The one that,
Partially dying, but it's there.
the image that I saw showed that tree with a canopy on it, so this must be in fall. The one I saw must have been in spring.
Yeah, there is a tree there. And
How
then,
large is the house approximately? 3,000 feet-ish?
The first and second floor are like 22,
20,
300
yeah,
square feet.
2,300, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, right, because of the garage. Okay,
Right.
let's get this out of the way, unless somebody has questions for the applicant, anything? Any members of the public wish to speak regarding this application? Okay, hearing none, we will move on. I do have a couple of comments before we go through Duncan versus Middlefield. This, I've seen this a few times in my professional life, and we've had a couple of cases on the board, older cases, where the property, where the structures are built outside of the easement, which this is the perfect reason that we're here, because it's unbuildable otherwise, based on the way that the main house is built. It's built into the 30 feet. So there isn't a whole lot in the way of options. I don't mean to argue the case for the applicant, but I don't see a whole lot in the way of options as far as, to me, you're replacing like to like. You're actually probably replacing what's there with a much better structure, slightly smaller. I don't, yeah, like I said, this is why we exist, is cases like this where the builder does this, so. Anybody want to go through Duncan versus Middlefield?
I'll do it.
Mark? Yes. Oh, I just said Mark, so everybody's ears went up.
I knew it wasn't me this time.
Someone else want to do it?
No,
I'm
go
happy
right
to-
ahead,
happy to do
sir.
it, Okay. The board reviewed section 307.06 of the zoning resolution reflecting Duncan versus Middlefield, as it pertains to the area variance requested from section 909.01B and the Highland Lakes North Development Plan to allow for an addition to encroach into the 30-foot rear setback in a planned residential PRD zoning district as follows. First point, the property in question would yield a reasonable return, and there can be beneficial use of the property without the variance. The property is livable.
Yeah, I was struggling with that too.
I don't know.
But so, yeah, so, I mean, one thing is they could just walk away and leave it as is.
Right, in
No
the
one's
literal
complaining,
sense.
and then just, let it deteriorate
Right.
and fall down
It was,
yeah.
it was built into the easement to start with, so.
Well, it's not going to be built into the easement now.
Correct.
Yeah, they're
They're
taking it
going
back
to stay
and trying
out
to-
of the
Right,
easement.
no, I understand,
So,
go
yeah.
ahead.
What were the I got a question.
No, go ahead.
What were the signs of deterioration? You mentioned that before.
You can see some of the wood, splits, a little bit of rot away, on
Skylight.
some of the joists.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because if it's already starting to deteriorate in
Right.
Highland Lakes, it's going to bring the assessments of the property
Which
values down.
reminds me, have you run this by the HOA?
Yes, it's been applied, they have everything, I'm just
Okay.
waiting for their response.
Okay, not that it doesn't, it's not a determining factor for us, but it's information. That's
They
really
have
what it is.
everything from the selections, colors, it's all gonna be the same.
Yeah, oh, okay,
Tan,
okay,
and the same roof, material.
okay. Good, anybody else? No?
I was unclear about this factor as well, because you moved in with it being the way it was, right? And if you didn't
I'm
build
sorry, I
pretty,
stopped you, didn't I?
pretty much what was already there, you'd essentially be going backwards in terms of livable square footage, right?
I would gain square footage by,
Well, you'd actually lose as
well,
far
I'll lose
as.
some too.
Yeah, well,
We'd gain more conditioned square footage.
if we didn't grant this variance, you would have to go back to either letting it fall apart, right? Or, which you may have to, and then you'd have to take it apart, and then you'd have less livable area, so,
Last 10
Yes.
years I've been spending funds, yes.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry, Mark, go.
No, I mean, I can be influenced by that as whatever the board consensus is. I still think there can be beneficial use of the property. They can still live in the property. They could repair it if need be, as
yeah,
it
that's true.
stands.
I think that's true.
So I think that there could be beneficial use, but I'm willing to go along with whatever the board wants. Okay. Next, the variance is substantial. It's 15 feet into a 30-foot building setback. The essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered. It's been in existence for 20-some years now, so it would not be substantially altered if we do grant the variance today. And adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. There have been no negative comments back to this board or to Genoa Township as a result of the application. Next, the variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services. Again, the services that we've contacted here in Genoa Township have given no negative feedback. The property owner did purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. We take that as a basic tenet here, that you bought it knowing what the zoning requirements were. Next, the property owner's predicament cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance in order to let you make the improvements that you want. And certainly you're going to move out of the easement, which I think there's a benefit to Genoa Township to that effect, that there won't be an encroachment. But you can then go ahead and construct what you need to construct there. Spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed, and a substantial justice would be done by granting the variance. Once again, it would allow you to upgrade that particular addition to the house, and I think contribute to the neighborhood by making that addition.
Okay, discussion? Anyone?
I don't think sitting back and waiting for something to rot is a good thing. And to fall apart. I've been in that situation before. It's, the best thing is to be a little preemptive.
As a homeowner, I wouldn't want to go backwards in terms of livable square footage or livable space because of the change. So I understand the reason.
Okay, anything else? Anyone? Anybody want to make a motion, Mark?
Sure, I'll move to incorporate Exhibits A through D, as well as the board's findings pertaining to the review of Section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence, and to approve the requested variance from Section 909.01B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution and the Highland Lakes North final development plan for BZA case 2026-02. Application received December 23rd, 2025, to allow for an addition to encroach 15 feet into the required 30 feet rear setback on property known as Lot 2960 in Highland Lakes North, property address 5836 Ridgewood Avenue, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, zoned planned residential PRD. This motion is based on the following findings of fact pursuant to Section 307.04 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution. Number one, that such variance or modification will not be contrary to the public interest for some of the reasons we've already listed. One, the structure's been in place for 20-some years. It is deteriorating, and the new addition would, one, move it out of encroaching into the easement, and two, would make a nice addition to the house. Other comments? No?
No.
That owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of this zoning resolution will result in an unnecessary hardship because basically you couldn't make it more of a permanent structure than it already is. At best, if we don't grant the variance, you could either allow it to deteriorate or make changes to it, and then it would still be an encroachment into the easement. So I would think that the literal enforcement would result in an unnecessary hardship to you. Number three, that the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution, and substantial justice shall be done thereby, once again, because it's going to improve the neighborhood and it's going to move the structure out of the existing encroachment into the easement now. Approval of subject variance is subject to the owner's agreement to the following conditions. Number one, that all required permits, zoning or otherwise, be obtained. Number two, pursuant to Section 307.11 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, the approved variance shall lapse, expire, and be null and void ab initio if required zoning permits are not obtained within 1 year of this motion's approval. Number three, extensions to this variance may be requested pursuant to Section 307.11A and subsection B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. Number four, the Board of Zoning Appeals does grant the Genoa Township zoning inspector authority to extend this variance at their discretion, subject to the deadlines established within Section 307.11A of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. That's the extent of the motion.
Okay, second?
Do we want to add a
Second.
condition that this applies only to the addition on the application? To do that? Sometimes when we not allow an encroachment, we specify that it's only for this.
Right, and I think, isn't there a patio? Yeah, there's an existing patio. Although the setback requirements, I don't know, it's, Mark's motion, so.
We certainly can make that. I don't see it as a condition because it's being granted just for that structure.
Okay.
So I'm okay without it, but again, if the board deems it, I will certainly amend
It's
the
your
motion.
motion. I was told many years ago that just let it go.
Okay.
Let it be.
I'm gonna let it stand as.
Okay,
presented.
you want to do it as is?
As
Okay,
is, yeah.
all right. Anyone else? Anything else? Okay.
Second?
Oh, Mr. Holleran, I think, was second, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, then I will call a roll. Mr. Campanella,
Yes.
Mr. Holleran, Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Ms. Hugh,
Yes.
chair votes yes, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your new sunroom.
Yeah, enjoy your sunroom next summer. If if it's ever sunny again.
Right. And above freezing.
Yeah, really. Okay, and that concludes this hearing at 48. Okay, we'll open the next public hearing at 7:48. And this is well, are we doing these together, Paul, or?
It's one property, but it's a variance to the front and a variance to the back, so it's technically two separate applications.
Right.
So you're gonna have to open this one,
Gonna do
do
two
this one,
cases
close it, and
then?
then open
Okay.
it again. Open the
Alright.
next one and close it.
You got it. All right. Let me go ahead and swear everybody in. Okay. I see, it's just us. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Be seated, thank you. CJT Development, via Chris Tysinger, requesting approval of an area variance to construct an addition that encroaches into the front setback at 6157 Maxtown Road, Westerville, Ohio 43082, currently zoned light industrial, LI, and this is BZA case 2026-03. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on January 14th, 2026 in the Delaware Gazette and posted at the Genoa Township Hall on January 7th, 2026. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. The following are marked as exhibits A through D: the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report dated January 20th, 2026. And we'll start with Mr. Benson with the staff report.
Thank you, Mark. This lot was created in 1969 as part of the Griffith subdivision was platted. According to the auditor's site, both of the buildings that are on the property were also constructed in 1969. Staff was not able to locate any zoning permits for those buildings. They do both seem to encroach into the 150-foot front setback that exists, but as they were constructed prior to basically modern Genoa Township zoning that was started in 1987, they would be existing non-conforming. So even though they are currently in the front setback, they are permitted there. But if they want to encroach any more, then they would require a variance, which is why the applicant is here today. We did locate 4 zoning permits for this property, but all 4 of them were just change of use permits for the small building that currently sits on the property. This applicant did put in an application in February of 2020. They were lucky enough to be our very first one that we tried to do through WebEx online, and it seemed to not go very well, and they ended up withdrawing that application partially due to that, and also he stated in his withdrawal that the business just did not require the extra space at that time anymore due to the global pandemic. The application lists the section number that they're requesting relief from as 150704. The front setback section for regulation is actually 150705. So the applicant can say that they want to adjust or amend that on the record when they speak. The application also states there is a power line easement that crosses the property. It's the same one that we've seen on many other applications along Maxtown Road and along Frost Road there that kind of just runs through, and they are not able to build anything underneath that power line easement. It is a very wide power line easement because they are the large high-tension wires. Copies of the application were provided to police, fire, and maintenance. Again, Fire Marshal Cato responded that there were no comments or no concerns for that. Another thing about the application does also state on there that the small building that's there is approximately 11 feet from the right-of-way. The applicant's representative did contact me today saying that was a typo. It is not 11 feet. They can speak on that when they do their presentation. And that is all that I have, unless you have any questions for me.
How much is the variance again?
So this one, they're requesting to be 54 feet from the property line. The front setback is 150 feet.
it's
So they're
pretty
about,
Close to a third?
about, yeah,
Close to
two-thirds. Yeah,
that? Okay.
yeah, a little less than two-thirds, percentage-wise.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the existing structure is right at the 150.
No, the existing structure encroaches into the 150 also. Oh, yes,
Also.
yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. The existing structure encroaches into the 150-foot setback, but it is existing non-conforming, so it is not in a violation because it was built in 1969.
So we'll get to the next thing. I'll wait.
Can I make sure I understand?
Yes,
This is the right of way?
that's the 150-foot front setback line right there. That's the,
This is the building that
yes, correct.
non-conforming.
Yes, then where the wording is where it says, front building, yes, addition, the addition, that's where they're trying to add on to it.
Okay. Anybody? Let's hear from the applicant. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and,
I'm Chris Heisinger.
okay.
Okay. I'm Chris Heisinger. I'm the property owner. I've been the property owner since roughly 1999.
And sir?
I'm Jason McGee from Kaiser Design Group. Mr. Teisinger hired us to create the application.
So you're the designer builder or just the designer?
Just the designer. Nobody wants me building anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, just, I guess, if I can jump into it real quick, there was a typo on the original application. So it initially said 11 feet, which was incorrect. So with the front setback, the design intent would be to match the front setback or match the existing building. So there's two buildings on the property, so we're trying to come into alignment with that. So that's actually 55.8 feet
Oh, so you're
setback.
going to be even with the little building next to it?
Correct.
Which is non-conforming. Just to be
Yeah.
clear. Right,
Yeah.
so essentially, we're going to put something into the same plane as something that's already there, which is non-conforming.
Which is non-conforming.
Right, all right.
Yeah, I
That
think
helps a
you got
lot.
that. Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Correct. So I just want to clarify on the application, it incorrectly stated 11 feet on the drawing. Our drawing said 54 feet. And then on the survey that we referenced, it's 55.8. So the design intent would be to match that. And so the best information we have puts it at 55.8 feet.
So it moves you
Apologies.
back
Slightly, yeah.
foot-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I can just say, like, I drive this every Sunday to get groceries, and I feel like the setback to me doesn't, like, that building never pops out. Like, it feels like that's of Maxtown Road. Like, I don't give it a second thought that thing sticks out too far. So just in my daily journey, I don't think that it's gonna stand out.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Continue.
That was always, and I just want to clarify the typo and the
I
dimension.
have a few questions because I actually drive it about 50 times a week. what materials are you using for this addition?
I think that the intent would be to match what is existing, which is it's a pole barn with metal siding, so we would just match what's there.
Okay. So basically, you want to match what's there and bring it out to within 50-ish, 55 feet of the street.
Correct.
Are you planning on keeping the trees there that are in that berm?
The trees are out near the road on a mound.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not gonna
Yeah.
touch any of that.
yeah, I'm looking at a straight-on view now, and it just looks to me like it wouldn't be really visible from the road, given the fact that those trees and that berm are still there.
Yeah,
That's,
absolutely.
that's pretty visible. I mean, I'm
Well,
not saying that's a
one of
bad
the
thing, but
trees
it's, that
died.
that hides nothing. I mean, they're tall buildings, but, and I'm not saying that it's like it's a bad thing.
All I'm saying is there is a
Yeah.
screen, there is some kind of a screen there. It's not like it's bald and will be moving, people will notice a large, change.
Currently, right now, we have out front, because I don't have enough room, we will park one of our track hose out front, possibly two. We're trying to get our stuff inside, and if we are granted this variance and we're able to build this, we are going to remove the gravel pile that's there and probably put parking out front, and there won't be any more equipment between Maxtown and the new addition. We'll be able to put it back.
Gravel or asphalt parking?
It's gravel. Our lot is gravel. Our trucks are 80,000 pounds. We're not able to asphalt our lot. It would be one of those things where it would crumble the, first year. I mean,
Oh, I'm just asking.
no, I'm not, I'm just explaining to you.
Yeah, no, I
Believe me, I would love to have asphalt or something, but it would be so expensive.
This is the building. This is the building he's gonna pull out to be even with that.
Is a smaller building also a pole barn?
No, it is
That's
block.
brick, isn't it? Yeah.
It's block.
It's block.
In fact,
Yeah, I live by there.
Harris
Oh, you do?
used it for a while.
Harris rented off of me. That's where he got his start, was
Yeah.
right
I
there in
know,
that
look at
little
it
building.
now.
Boy, they got big.
I
He
know.
did. Yeah, Brian's done very well, but yes, he got his start right there.
Yeah, I remember.
And in the current occupant, and it doesn't matter for this meeting, but he's doing very well. Has a pool business, and the one in Westerville closed, so he's doing very well. A lot of people get in and out there just fine. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out there.
Any objections from any of your neighbors with regards to this plan?
No, my only neighbor is really to public storage, and what are they doing? They're doing what I'm doing. They're
Yeah.
building storage buildings all
Yeah.
over the place. I just can't believe as many as that are popping up.
It's amazing how much stuff people have that they don't want at
Yes.
their house.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
I have not talked to the cabinet company next door, but I don't think it would really involve them because they really wouldn't really see it, or they would see it, but I mean, we get along with everybody. I've never had any of my neighbors knock on the door and say, you need to do this or that. I don't even get letters from you guys, which is great, so.
Let me jump in here real quick.
Sure.
And ask for any public comment, and then we'll go back into discussion. Any members of the public present that wish to comment on the application? Since there is no one in the house, then I will take that as a no. Nobody ran in from the parking lot. So we'll move on. I like you. I moved in Labor Day 1999, so I've been here about the same length of time you have. And I will say that the aesthetics on Maxtown Road have improved quite a bit. And a lot of it was, I know the Deersea property was challenging for everyone because it was so large. You wanted to do this and that, the other thing. Is this a method of kind of improving the aesthetics of your property? I think you're probably the last guy there with the gravel pile and the, and the building. Is this going to improve the aesthetics on Maxtown? town?
I would say absolutely.
Because I'm not the architectural design committee for the township, but I do drive by it a lot.
Well, I'm going to say that it's not probably going to change much. We're going to go with the same material. And this is the same material that my neighbor 2 doors down is using. It's just basically almost a pole barn. Okay, so, but yes, it's going to be a lot newer, of course, but I don't think it looks bad now, other than the gravel pile. I'll admit, the gravel pile isn't the most beautiful thing. But I'm out of room, and I want to be able to put my equipment inside, my trucks inside.
So if you build the building, then what's in the building, you can put your equipment inside, and then you've got conceivably what, office space then?
Well, the office is actually in a different part of the building that we built years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an idea of what we're doing here.
I guess I'm following up on Mark. I have the same questions. Would the equipment go in the other application that you're making today? Will it be in the back of the existing building, or will their equipment be in the front, or both places?
Both,
Okay, so this is going to be
absolutely.
a garage in essence,
Yes,
a commercial garage.
yes. What I want to do is be able to when my guys come in from their job, back the truck and trailer into the building, shut it down, lock it up. Probably 15 years ago, I had a truck, trailer, and Bobcat stolen off my property. Right out front, it was parked, gone, never found it. Knock on wood, we haven't had any issues, I think, due to the traffic and the widening of the road, and there's just a lot going on. But I would love to have all my stuff inside, like the weather we've had. You know how nice it is to go out there and get in a truck without having to get all your snow off your truck or your car. Well, imagine a 60-foot truck and trailer you're shoveling snow off of and nowhere to put it. But the biggest thing is I want to be able to put all my equipment that I have, that I own, inside and take it away, not park out front with that equipment, try to get more of it inside. Now, one last thing before Jason chimes in. I know he's got something to say. There is areas in the back that we do park trucks and trailers, but you don't hardly see it off the road. That will continue to stay. But go ahead.
I was going to say, to clarify how the building is laid out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the bar immediately north of the addition is also vehicle parking, so vehicles pull in. And then the spot that juts out, like the other piece of the bar, is where the office is currently located and will stay, which means that an addition,
Your office is here.
right,
On out.
Right,
Yep,
here.
there you go.
Okay.
and,
Oh, I see.
and there's vehicles in that space, so,
And
in
Yes.
right, so in addition to that
you
face would,
want to add this to park vehicles.
Yes.
And it'll open. this way.
correct.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all the garage doors will face the east. And as you guys know, and you mentioned it earlier, the power lines has got
Right.
me. I'm stuck.
I remember that was a big issue with the prior application, is that you were limited in, and I'll let you tell it, but this is my recollection. You were limited to what you can do in certain areas because of the power lines.
Absolutely.
And those have not moved.
No, and it'll become more germane when we discuss the rear setback on the next application.
Right, yes, right, and I remember, yes, I remember vaguely.
And probably because he's constrained on that rear easement means he wants to pop out on the front as well to grow on both sides. Where typically, we would probably just do one addition to the building,
Oh, I see.
like for cost savings.
Can you pull that on down?
Hey, Joe. Thanks.
I wanted to show you on the back right corner, if you notice, I have no building area right there
Because of the power
because of
lines.
the power lines.
Yeah.
I have, I mean, it's just
I do
nothing.
remember, I remember that, I think we probably discussed that more than the front, with
Yes.
the power lines last time.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that I
Sure.
just don't have anywhere to go. So, you can go back up, we can slide it back down later for the next one, however you guys, however you want to do it.
I mean, it may have been better to discuss the rear one first, to understand how he's stuck. And then
Yeah, this
to
is
see that
very
we're gonna pop out the
intuitive.
front as the second request, really.
I get it.
I just want to say that I plan on being here a while. My son is probably going to take my business over here in about 5 years. I love the township. I love my location. It's hard to find anywhere to go and not spend all kinds of money. I mean, we're just a small business. We've been in the community for, well, 27 years, 26 years now, and we plan on being here. So I try to do everything I can do to keep it looking good from the road, because I drive it as well as you guys.
No, and I appreciate that. Let me ask you this, if somebody along here were to make a motion for approval of the application, this application, and we added a landscaping component to that application, would you find that objectionable, or?
No, I have somewhat a mound there with trees that I was required by
Yes.
you guys to put in
Yes, I
back,
would.
gosh, back before, way before Joe Place. There was a lady that used to be here.
Oh,
She
gosh,
added-
yeah, you're an ancient history.
Yeah, I know.
Because I got here when Joe was here.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. Joe took her place, but
Yes.
anyway, we brought in dirt, we did what they asked, so, I basically don't have a lot of room only to add maybe to what is there at the existing mound, because I do need that small area for parking. Go ahead if you have anything to add.
Yeah, there's not much.
One of our trees
And it-
did die.
Joe, if you scroll down, there's a satellite view on the next
That's not-
page that might be
What do you
helpful.
want to do?
I used to do this all day, you'd never know it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I see. It's funny how I notice the buildings more than I do the mound when I drive by there. Why is that?
Well, one of the reasons, like I said, one of the trees died on us, one of the pines.
And I was just asking the question, because
No,
I don't
it's-
know what a motion will look like, so. Okay,
Mark, I hate to beat
Go ahead.
dead horses, but I apologize
No,
for
go
this,
ahead.
because I guess I'm just
That's
a
all.
little dense.
that's your job.
Can you tell me the dimensions of this, the variance we're asking for now? The reason I ask that, it looks like there's 54 feet, it's going to be 54 feet back from the front property line, I understand that. And there's 150-foot back to the line, back to the right-of-way. But you've also got a non-conforming building there. I'm trying to figure out how much are you asking for today? Or, Paul, do we have to do the whole thing back to the right-of-way even though it's non-conforming?
God, that was my question.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that was also,
sorry.
yeah, I was thinking that too, when I was, as far as the substantial, so.
I mean, I see
So-
a drawing there and it all makes sense.
Yeah,
but-
so the way that we measure it is for the 150-foot setback. Again, the existing building is existing non-conforming, which means they could add on to that building going east-west as long as they don't get any closer to the front lot line. Because they are moving it closer to the front lot line, that's why they're required to get the variance to be able to make their non-conformity worse than what it currently is. So the way that we're going to word the motion would be that they're requesting a new front setback for that principal building of the 54 feet. So instead of having a 150-foot front setback, they're now going to have a 54-foot front setback for that principal building.
So we don't care what the dimensions are as far as.
I mean,
as far as
that could sway the way that you make your decision. If you want to, I mean, they could probably tell you how much more of an encroachment they're going from the existing non-conforming building to the 54 feet.
Because typically, we will say, is it a substantial request? And I don't know that we can answer that question if we know it's 11 feet or 20 feet or 60 feet.
I would say the substantial request is subjective.
40,
It's
so
not-
40 feet
it's not-
approximately.
It's not objective. I mean, sometimes,
Yeah,
a
some
40-foot
round numbers,
encroachment
it's about-
is subjective, or is substantial, sometimes it's not. It's really up to how you feel about it, so.
This is 40, and it's pretty close to straight across. And it's 2,500 square feet, so 65. And I'm not a math major. Yeah. Divided by
They come up with the same.
16, 14.
They come up with the same.
Yeah, it's 39. So, yeah.
That's what we come up with as well.
What is the number?
39.
I passed math in
39%?
school, but barely, so.
So 39% encroachment?
No, 39 feet.
Out of how many feet?
No, so it's 39 feet from their existing building to the new requested setback of 54
Right.
feet.
Which would be the same as the building to the right,
Which is not conforming.
Right.
that has been there since how long, somebody say?
Gosh, I was just a lad then.
I was one.
I was a little older, smidge. Okay, so,
You want a motion?
We have to do a finding of fact first, right?
well, okay. We're looking at these two requests separately. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just dispose of this one and then do the other one. Okay, because I think that's what we need to do. Since we're doing them separately, let's just do separately. So, does somebody want to go through Duncan versus Middlefield?
Okay, I can take a turn.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. The board, excuse me, reviewed section 307.06 of the zoning resolution reflecting Duncan versus Middlefield as it pertains to the area variance request from section 1507.05 to allow for an addition to encroach into the front setback in a light industrial zoning district as follows. The property in question would yield a reasonable return, and there can be beneficial use of the property without a variance. Yes, because it is still operating as a business, but they would definitely like to expand, secure their equipment. The variance is substantial, and depending on how we want to think of it. So if I think of it as going from a 150-foot setback to a 54-foot setback, that's 63%. If we want to think of it as just an additional 40 feet off of an already existing non-conforming building, may not be quite as substantial.
Right.
So,
How would you like to handle that?
right, so since the motion is to move the setback from 150 to 54, I'm gonna go with my.
I think
60%.
you're right. It's objectively substantial,
Right.
but it's subjectively insubstantial.
Yeah, exactly, right. The essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered, and the adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. They're bringing the front building to line up with an existing building that's already there. Surrounding properties are also industrial in nature, and none of their neighbors have objected per their testimony. The variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services per their review. The owner did purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. Yeah, we can say that. Yeah. The owner's predicament cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance, primarily because of the that easement that runs right diagonally through the middle. They have no other place to put any additions. And the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed, and substantial justice would be done by granting the variance. They're trying to put in the best place that they can find, given the limitations of the lot.
Can we discuss a motion now, in terms of ideas? Could we consider requesting that 3 new evergreen trees be planted on the property as part of a remediation effort?
Do you want to make a motion then, Mark?
Well, we're having discussion first.
Or or would that be a condition
Yeah,
when we get to the?
that would be a condition that we could, he's already said that he'd be open to it. And you just stagger it against the other trees that are already there, and just build up the mound a little bit more.
Okay.
I mean, what it would do is it would show intent on his part to try to keep beautifying the property as part of the move, and it would demonstrate responsibility on our part to recognize the challenges of this particular, request. Since it's the front, it's what everybody sees.
Sure.
All right, I'll make a motion.
There you go, have at it.
Okay, I make a motion to approve, to incorporate Exhibits A through D, as well as the board's findings pertaining to the review of Section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence, and approve the requested variance from Section 1507.05 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution for BZA 2026-03 application received November 30th, 2025, to allow for an addition to encroach, how many feet was that?
96.
96?
Oh, if we go from 150 to 54 is 96 feet.
Be 55.8 per the survey.
You want to go 54 or do you want to go to 55? When
I mean, the
Give you some-
design
give you
intent
some
was
room.
55.8. I'm not gonna stand up here and lie.
So we'll go with 56, okay? To allow for addition to encroach 56 feet,
It's going the other way.
Yeah,
that'd be the wrong way.
so that's a little bit more.
We could have, we go to 95 feet encroachment, so you're putting.
95 feet
Yeah,
encroachment.
put you at 55.
Okay, encroach 95 feet into a required
That's quite the encroachment.
150 foot front setback on property known as 1110 in Griffith subdivision, 6157 Maxtown Road, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, zoned light industrial. This motion is based on the following findings of fact, as we've discussed, pursuant to Section 307.04 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution. That such variance or modification will not be contrary to public interest because, A, we believe that the improvements here will likely have a substantial positive improvement on the front end of the property, given that things will now be indoors. There will be less industrial equipment out front, and based on the additional requirements, we will be adding some additional green space or greenery to the front to support it. That owing to special conditions, a literal endorsement of this zoning resolution will result in unnecessary hardship because this business is an important part of our community. It's been in place for a long time with plans to remain in family hands. And the idea here is to make it a good place to do business for the community and such. And that the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution, and substantial justice shall be done thereby, because essentially this objective encroachment is more a subjective encroachment, because it ultimately keeps it in line with existing structures that are non-conforming, not creating a substantial visual change, plus with the requirement that there be additional greenery should help in this effort. Approval of the subject variance is subject to the owner's agreement to the following conditions. That at least 3 fir trees, conifers, be planted in a staggered manner in between the existing trees that are there to improve and beautify the property. That all required permits, zoning or otherwise, be obtained pursuant to Section 307.11 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution. The approved variance shall lapse, expire, and be null and void ad initio if required zoning permits are not obtained within 1 year of the motion of approval. Extensions to this variance may be requested pursuant to Section 307.11A and B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, and may be amended. And the Board zoning appeals does grant the Genoa Township zoning inspector authority to extend this variance at their discretion, subject to deadlines established within section 307.11A of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I hear a second? Oh, come on. I'll
Sorry,
second.
second.
No,
Okay.
I'll
I was like,
second
no,
it. It's
I was
fine.
adjusting the map here.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna call a vote. I am gonna vote for this application. And I'm doing it a little bit under duress because I am not the architectural design committee, one man, because there isn't one here. I'm doing this with the idea that it's going to improve the aesthetics of the property as opposed to the gravel pile that's in front of the property. And I think you're a great guy, by the way. I think you got a nice business, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate how long you've been here. I've been here the same length of time, and I've watched the area grow. I'm fortunate enough to be living in a very nice area. But that being said, like I said, my intent in voting for this application is that it will improve the area as opposed to not. And as we know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So please don't disappoint me. Okay, I'm going to call the roll. Mr. Campanella.
I'm voting yes, the same reasons that the chairman indicated.
No, don't do it for me.
I know, I'm for the same reasons. I believe that as it stands today, the property can only be improved by this change. I believe it'll move things indoors. And I also believe that with the addition of additional greenery, that it will improve the current frontage situation.
Mr. Holloran,
I agree.
is that a yes?
Yes, that would be yes.
Okay. Mr. Phillips?
Yeah, I'm reluctantly voting yes, only because of the other existing building there. That's the one factor that sways it for me.
Ms. Yu?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion carries. Okay, that's application one. We'll move on to application two. You guys have already been sworn in, so I won't swear at you again. I think this will prove to be a bit easier. Opening the second hearing. Golly, I can't read the clock. Thank you. No, it's not that. It's the glare. Oh, okay, we're gonna take a 2-minute break.
Yes, 2 minutes.
Yeah, have at it. That's great. So you guys have already been sworn in, so remember you've been sworn in. I won't redo it. I will call the meeting to order at, let's call it 8:28, and read the legal notice into the record. CJT Development via Chris Tysinger requesting approval of an area variance to construct an addition that encroaches into the rear setback at 6157 Maxtown, Westerville, Ohio 43082. Currently zoned light industrial. This is BZA case 2026, -04. The legal notice for this hearing was printed and published on January 14th, 2026 in the Delaware Gazette and posted at the Genoa Township Hall on January 7th, 2026. An attempt to mail notice of this hearing to property owners contiguous to and across the street from the subject property was also made. The following are marked as Exhibits A through D: the legal notice, the sign-in sheet, the application, and the staff report dated January 20th, 2026. And we'll start with Mr. Benson.
Thank you, Mark. I'm not going to reiterate everything that we had from the
Yeah.
previous hearing. Only a couple things that are a little bit different. Again, the section number that was requested relief from on the application stated 150704. The actual standard for the rear setback in light industrial is 150707. It's just asked that the applicant states that they're okay with changing the number that they're requesting relief from. And then the only thing else is that they are pushing towards the rear of the lot. I just wanted to mention that the rear of the lot butts currently public storage, and they're using it as a parking lot for boat and RV storage.
Okay.
That's all that I have.
Good enough. Police and fire had no comment, I assume? Just like
Well,
they-
the fire marshal stated no concerns.
Oh, okay. Good. Applicant? Applicant?
Yeah,
Hi.
so, yeah, in this one, we're kind of stair-stepping back because of the power line easement and the dimensions.
Move down a smidge. Thank you. So,
So, yeah, the white box in red is the proposed addition. The dashed line on the southeast, right there would be demolished, that's
that's what's there
existing.
currently.
Yeah, so we're demolishing that, and then the
Is
dimensions,
there any reason you're not saving that?
I think that,
It's not big enough. It's not tall enough. I can't get,
Oh,
I
the
can't
height.
get, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
and then those three the 28, 26, 16, and 14 feet would be bays for trucks to pull in, which would be the reason that we're stair-stepping them to pull trucks in. And again, we're stuck because of the power line easement. We would prefer to, hey,
You
not,
have to stay a certain amount away from it, as I recall.
I don't, not that I'm aware of.
Under it, or you can't be directly under it?
It's
or-
50 feet from the center.
Okay.
So that's why it's 100 wide, so it's 50 from the center each way.
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember there was a thing, some kind of thing on that, yeah.
Those power lines put in before or after this property was created?
They, as big as they are, I'd say they've been there as probably since the 60s. That's
So
my
the
my
property was
guess.
conceived with the easements in place?
Yes,
I believe
That's
so.
what I wanted to know.
yes.
Okay, anything else?
No, there's a portion of, the existing building that we are demolishing, or the portion that we're demolishing, I believe is a non-conforming to the side setback. So the intent would be to rectify that and to stay within that side setback. There's a fence next to the public storage, but we would pull that back to stay within
Yeah,
the.
this is public storage.
And to the left, it's L-shaped, so it comes
Yeah.
down. So we would, the intent.
You've got outdoor parking next to it currently?
Those are a couple trailers we use for storage.
Oh, now are you gonna remove those or leave them?
I am probably going to remove one of them right now, but we
Okay.
put a lot of our smaller stuff in there. And I think there's three. There's one's not even in that picture, but there's a couple that'll, at least one of them will go. We just put a lot of our smaller stuff in there.
Okay. Okay, questions for the applicant?
Is this addition being created to support a specific client or just to create additional space to rent or for
Oh,
your
it's
use?
No, it's for me.
It's for you?
It's for our company, yes.
What does your company do again?
The way it's set up is I own Tysinger Construction. We dig basements.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then I own CJT Development, which owns the property.
Oh, okay.
So
I understand.
Tysinger pays CJT rent is tax and a,
I understand completely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
you know
good.
where I'm going with that.
That- yeah, I
That's
get it.
very normal.
Yeah,
So all of this storage is for your stuff, for your business?
yes, sir.
But you separate the operating company from the real estate company for tax purposes?
Absolutely,
essentially.
yes,
Very
sir.
good. All right. Do you do mostly commercial or
No, we do, I would say 99% residential.
residential?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Our biggest customer, MI Homes.
But are you doing Miller Farm?
Yes.
I
We're doing everything in Miller Farm,
Uh.
from digs to backfills to the water installs, you name it.
can't believe how fast that's gone up. It's amazing.
It has been, that's a good way to put it.
That's a good problem to
I've
have,
not
though.
seen a subdivision go in like that.
I honestly, I can't believe it.
It's unreal.
All right. Okay, here, let me get this out of the way. Any members of the public that happen to have come in the last 3 seconds wish to make a comment on this application? Since there is no one in the gallery, we'll assume there are none. No public comment. So, moving right along, let's go into, go ahead.
Clarify
Mr.
one
Phillips.
detail. I can't find it now. We have to get them to acknowledge the amendment to the motion to conform to
Right.
a different section. We need to put that on the record.
Oh, I thought they did.
Are you okay with changing the section number from 150704 to 150707? Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
That's
I
just
thought you
for the
guys
record.
did that, but okay. Anything for the applicant or staff? Anything? Let's see, you leave us here long enough, this is the way it goes. No, I find this is quite a bit easier because the location on the property, the difficulty, you can't really expand anywhere else because of those power lines. Like I said earlier with that other application, this is kind of that is the reason that we're here, is because of things like that make it virtually impossible for you to go anywhere else. I'm not presenting your application for you, but when you look at the power lines and the restrictions that are there, that accompany that property, that's kind of the only alternative that you really have, it looks like, so.
Pretty much.
And I recall a bit of that discussion from the last application. I haven't quite lost it all yet, but I kind of remember that we had quite a bit of discussion about the power lines and the distances and everything, and that was an important component. Like I said, I don't have really anything, I don't really have much in the way of comments on that, so.
I don't either. I guess, trying to figure out again, what's the encroachment here? It's a 50-foot setback, it looks like, and it looks like 14 feet plus some
It's
other,
22 feet.
So you're what, about
Got
six?
22 into a
40%?
50
Yeah, so
foot?
we've got rear setback 50 and then proposed setback at 28 feet.
Was
Goes
this
to
one
the
at least
28.
conforming? Going in?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah,
a
it looks like
20
I've got 14
22-foot
here and just a
encroachment?
small amount here.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this 28 feet right here.
So,
Yeah, so here's the current rear setback. and then
so it's a
they're showing
22 foot,
Yeah, so 22 feet.
22 feet, okay.
22 out of 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Want me to do it?
Go
You
ahead.
guys want to do it?
Yeah, have at it, Mark.
Okay. We're going to apply the Duncan versus Minifield test. The board reviewed section 307.06 of the zoning resolution reflecting Duncan versus Middlefield. as it pertains to the area variance requested from section 1507.07 to allow for an addition to encroach into the rear setback in a light industrial, that's LI zoning district, as follows. First point, the property in question would yield a reasonable return, and there can be beneficial use of the property without the variance. You're there now and you're operating the business, so you could continue to do that. We understand why you want the variance, but it could continue to operate. B, the variance is substantial. Again, 22 feet into 50 is a 44% request for variance. The essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered, and the adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. Again, actually, it would be an improvement. It wouldn't be a detriment to the neighbors in that you've represented to the board that you're going to put equipment inside now. So it won't be outside and won't be distracting to others who may be looking in that area. Comments? Okay. The variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services. We've heard nothing back from police, fire. The property owner did purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restriction. Again, you're charged with that knowledge of knowing the restrictions. The property owner's predicament cannot be feasibly obviated through a method other than the variance. Once again, I think the primary detractor here for you as a business are the power lines. So you can't expand your structure some other direction. The only way you can go back to stay out of the power line easement is as you've proposed it, so it cannot be feasibly obviated through another method. And last, the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice would be done by granting the variance.
You know, and the one thing I would add, it's not part of Duncan versus Middlefield, but this is in a light industrial area. It's not like it's residential or planned or anything. And so the bar is, for me, relatively low. And what it backs up to is an outside storage facility. So you don't have any adjoining neighbors that should have an issue with that. So
I agree with the chairman. There is a substantial residential area to the to the east, but what this property backs up to is a towing lot, and just a little bit further is another Shamrock towing lot. I don't see this being out of character for the neighborhood at all.
And the adjacent owners arguably had notice by publication, so they could have been here today.
Yeah.
Could have presented something to the
And
Genoa Township prior to that.
I guess those are the only two adjacent landowner is public storage, and is it Harris on the other side?
No, it's the cabinet company.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cabinet company.
That J&S or whatever they are.
J Company,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, J Company, that's right.
Isn't there a towing business directly behind that? Al's Towing?
I think they're gone.
They're gone?
Oh, did they leave? Oh, that's right, because public storage is going in there.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Wow, it's an old map.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Have at it.
Okay. Michael, you
You've
want
got the floor.
I got it. If you don't, if
You got it this
Okay,
time.
all right. I moved to incorporate exhibits A through D and making a point that A through C were also submitted as the same exhibits in the preceding application, as well as the board's findings pertaining to the review of section 307.06 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution into evidence, and to approve the requested variance from section 1507.07 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution for BZA case 2026-04. Application received December 30, 2025, to allow for an addition to encroach 22 feet into a required 50 feet rear setback on property known as Lot 1110 in Griffith subdivision, property address 6157 Maxtown Road, Westerville, Ohio, 43082, zoned light industrial, LI. This motion is based on the following findings of fact pursuant to section 307.04 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, that such variance or modification will not be contrary to the public interest because, again, we do not believe that neighbors will necessarily be adversely affected, and if they could have been, they should have presented their arguments to this board tonight or prior to tonight. And also, because of the power easement, you have no other place to go to expand your structure. Two, that owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the zoning resolution will result in an unnecessary hardship because, again, equipment will have to stay outside. There's no other way that you can build a structure to put that equipment inside other than as you presented to the board tonight. That the approval of such variance or modification thereof is consistent with the spirit of the zoning resolution and substantial justice shall be done thereby because, again, for similar reasons, you'll be able to put the equipment, trucks, and so forth inside as opposed to leaving them outside. Approval of the variance is subject to the owner's agreement to the following conditions. One, all required permits, zoning or otherwise, be obtained. Two, pursuant to section 307.11 of the Genoa Township zoning resolution, the approved variance shall lapse, expire, and be null and void ab initio if required zoning permits are not obtained within 1 year of the approval of this motion. Three, extensions to this variance may be requested pursuant to section 307.11A and B of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. Four, the Board of Zoning Appeals does grant the Genoa Township zoning inspector authority to extend this variance at their discretion, subject to the deadlines established within section 307.11A of the Genoa Township zoning resolution as may be amended. And I'm going to add one additional condition for the board's consideration. You've represented that you will remove one of the trailers behind the building upon completion of this structure. That's it for the motion.
Oh, okay. I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, one quick question for you guys. And by the way, I really like this little key right here. Because it tells me what the code is, what you're gonna do. And your maximum, you're aware that your maximum height is 35 feet. And that is gonna be sufficient for your equipment?
Yes.
Okay. You don't want to get on the ride again in a couple months? No, I'm just making sure that.
That house guy, when he comes back and asks for variance.
If you like us, you can always come back and see us. You just got to pay the entry fee. All right, I just want to make sure that 35 is, you're okay with the number, with the trucks and everything. All right. Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Call the vote?
Okay, Mr. Campanella,
I vote yes.
Mr. Holleran.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Ms. Yu.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion's approved. There you go. Your application, see?
Thank you very much.
It was a lot easier the second time. Okay, thanks, guys. Seriously, you had to wait through all the other applications and stuff, so.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
will, at this time, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?